Well, what was interesting is I was going through your discs here, and I actually have a split screen going right now with your discs and the video here. When I heard Justify from More Than a Dream, I was like, wow, I never realized it, but Mark sounds a little bit like Peter Gabriel. And then I was very surprised to find out that, or maybe not so surprised, that you had a Genesis tribute album, a tribute band called the Genesis Touch. Is it? And what was that?
Well, that was originally the concept behind the Genesis Touch. I was working for EMI Virgin, and of course I was very fortunate enough to actually tour with Genesis and with Peter Gabriel, because I was the PR person at that time, doing the looking after regional areas for the band, and for both in their different time frames. So Genesis came in '86, the middle of, I think it was towards summer of '86, and Peter Gabriel came a little bit later on after the Us album. And of course, working for a record label, you get a chance to meet a lot of wonderful artists, which I did. And during that time, I put together my own band called the Genesis Touch, and it basically was, the idea was that we were trying to do not just Genesis music, but to do Peter Gabriel, Mike and the Mechanics, Tony Banks, and so forth. That was what we were planning to do. But then we did six big shows, and then around about the second to last show, I was told by EMI that I would be moving to Sydney from Adelaide, and I have to take my family with me, and we have to move and got a new position. So I had to put work first. So the Genesis thing was very short-lived, but it was very successful because we sold out wherever we went in, just around Adelaide, because of the sound that we had was quite different. It's 14 tracks, but there will be two medleys. One is a Yes medley, which includes Onward, Soon, Close to the Edge, Awaken, and references of You and I as well. But it's very tastefully done. When we do any cover of any, and what you'll hear it, when we do a cover, we don't go out there to try to compete with it. We try to actually make it ours. And I think we've done that. We're doing a Genesis medley. That's the final part, or the part of the jigsaw puzzle for the Covered Mirror, because we've just about finished everything, and then we're just starting to lay down all of the major instrumentation now. But a lot of the tracks have been properly vocalised. Tracks like Man of Colours, which no one probably would know in America. It's a track by a band called Icehouse, who were quite big in the 80s. It was a #1 song here in Australia. So we thought we'd do them justice and do that track. And we've done John Lennon's Real Love with a bit of Barack included in the track. So we've not stuck with just progressive. We've actually chosen songs that we really like. Everybody's Got to Learn Sometime by the Porgies. Our version's very Floydy. A version of Easter from Marillion, very well-known track. Calling Occupants from Interplanetary Craft has a huge anthem in front of it, which is like Close Encounters of a Third Kind. So very interesting concept. All the tracks join together and make one big anthem of songs. No, that's released November 15th. Yeah, there's the Dream box that's coming. So More Than a Dream and The Dream Within a Dream. Now, The Dream Within a Dream is all of the original songs re-sung and rearranged completely by Matt, our guitarist, and Sean has nothing to do with this version. The old version will be remastered, and we'll throw in some extra tracks as well. Both albums on the box will have extra tracks, but there'll be one brand new track for The Dream Within a Dream. So it's going to be worth getting. We've done very well with that album when we sold it on tour. Everybody bought it. We ran out, so we thought we'll reinvent it and bring it out as a brand new set. Yeah, no, it's out on the 15th of September. Pre-sales are on at the moment, and this is going to be a double DVD, but limited edition. I think the first 1,000 will have the opportunity to have the double DVD, and then the other one will result to just a single DVD after the 1,000 have gone. So anybody out there that is very keen to get a collector's item, the bonus DVD has lots of goodies on it. Trust me. And the double CD is released at the same time, and I've actually got, excuse me, I've got the double DVD, the double CD. I've been listening to it in the car, and it's sounding really, really nice. So I think as far as a nice live show, the warmth of the people in the Netherlands was just absolutely wonderful, and they're just like Lydney. Everybody was incredibly supportive. In fact, I must say that when we first got to London and we played that gig in Lydney, it was the most inspiring gig that anybody could ever want to do. It was just sensational. You know, the crowd was just so behind us. Well, yeah, it's not a case of distance ourselves. It's more a case that I think if you listen and when you hear some of the newer songs that come out next year, both with The Hope and also with the next album, which will be The Turn Left or Brothers in Conflict, we see a lot of fusion in our music. So it's progressive fusion. We fuse a lot of elements of today's music, both alternative, classical rock, classic, world, ethnic. We try to incorporate as many cultures as possible because it just allows the listener to go off and explore new vibes within the content of the lyric as well. No, the 321 was the Beatlesville Miners song. Now, back in 2006, Brant Webb, Todd Russell were buried underneath a mine, and they were inside a cage no bigger than a cubicle toilet, and they were under the ground for 321 hours. So we wrote a song about that, and we actually performed it live, and that is actually featured on the DVD. Yeah, the song itself is on the Garden, and the actual making of it, and with 60 minutes, you get 60 minutes in America, don't you? Yeah, well, we're on 60 minutes here in Australia with that, and that's featured on the DVD extras of the One Night in Europe.